This is the engineering how to achieve OKR presentation looking ahead at Q3 fiscal year 2020. So I'm Eric Johnson, I'm the VP of Engineering, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'll walk you through what I prepared. So first up, just procedurally, the OKRs are located on in the OKR section of the handbook. You can see mine are at the top level, or I guess the second level if you count that they're indented under SIDS. Then my directs are indented under that, and they're labeled by the functional department. We're not bringing it down to the level of staff manager as we have in the past. And in the case of development, there's actually an additional level of directors because it was cluttering up the page quite a bit. But the other place you can discover these things are on our management issue board. So this is something me and my direct reports use in our one-on-ones, and it's a way that everybody can see transparently what we're working on. And in those OKR issues, we link them together. So that's kind of the way, if you really want to traverse the whole tree, all the way from VP to, let's say, manager, you can follow the related issue links in these OKR issues. Let's see, anything else on that? That's it. So diving into the first one, our IACV goal is about GitLab.com enterprise level availability. We had a bumpy June for 3 or 4 different reasons, so we're taking on the care to address all of those. The first is maximum observability on all services. Anthony in infrastructure is driving an initiative here, so we'll be able to see performance ceilings before they occur. The next key result is we have some integration level test gaps for features used by large customers. So for instance, two-factor authentication with SAML broke last, I think it was June, and it wasn't covered by a test. It was only used by a single customer, and so it didn't have the coverage we need. We're going to bring coverage up for all the enterprise features that are very important but infrequently used, so that we know the moment they break, and more importantly, we catch that on staging or pre-production environment. And then the security team is going to reduce the detection of abuse through a bunch of automation work that they're going to be doing. And then I'm just tracking the KPI, the availability number, as well as a separate key result for that. And I think the ones I would highlight that are rolling up to this one are, I know Paul was curious about this. Security is going to track the reduction in our HackerOne budget thanks to the security training that they're doing. So ideally, we'll be creating less security issues going forward, and therefore we'll have to pay slightly less to the HackerOne community to solve those and detect them for us. I mentioned the observability projects. There's a link to Anthony's board here. And then the last one is development is going to rebuild our background job processing capability. So this was really the thing that happened in June that we own. And we're just at a performance ceiling with our queues. And the team's obviously doing everything to address it, but we also need to re-architect it and give ourselves, 10x headroom. So there's going to be some activity on that. Then shifting to the product-aligned OKR, the big theme here is dogfooding. So Sid is rightly concerned that we're in danger of losing our way as an open core company. If people are creating little scripts, little tools outside of GitLab, then those things could or should be built in GitLab itself, and therefore open sourced, given back to the community. We're doing something wrong if that's not happening. This is sort of a culture change here. There's a powerful impulse to do things the quickest, most iterative way. There is a tax that comes along with dogfooding. So for instance, Sid was highlighting this, and I was like, okay, yeah, it makes sense, we'll do it. And then I got a taste of just how powerful that impulse to not do it is, because I created a bunch of issues for our board, and multiple separate people went in and said, oh yeah, no, we don't want to do this, and closed out the issues almost immediately. So I had to go in and reopen them and say, no, there's a new process. Product management is going to be taking the decision on these things. So I think people have the right intentions, but this is something that we're going to have to counteract the natural tendency to do the easy thing in this case. So we're populating that board. We're going to be following that new process, and we're going to be consuming existing features that we're not today, and rebuilding a few things that have been built outside the product. And also, I wanted to highlight some work that UX is doing. So they're going to be bringing our documentation up to best-in-class levels. And then also they're going to be raising 7 experience baselines up 1 level in their hierarchy. And then the last one is our team OKR. So the theme here is scaling to a 500-person plus organization as gracefully as possible. And a lot of it has to do with building out KPIs. So this is very much a carryover from a lot of the work that we did in Q2 in partnership with the data team. So we're going to be driving that forward. And then the other thing that I bubbled up to this level, it's not really well aligned with us, but I just wanted to make sure it had top level visibility, is we've had a very hard time filling our vulnerability research manager role. So I'm going to be working directly with Kathy on that to make sure that we get that really critical role filled. And then the dependency I wanted to call out here was on the data team for some of this KPI stuff. I came up with some suggestions for key results that they might adopt to help me with this. We spoke in the last instance of our working group that we're going to hire a data engineer or analyst. I forget which role it was for engineering. So making that hire in a timely manner would be great. That person may block building everything in Periscope, but if there is a way to get some more of someone else's time until that hire is made, that would be great to do the charting work in Periscope. And then also I know Walter's working on giving us the ability to embed charts directly in the handbook, which I think would be a great cultural thing where we could basically start driving the metrics reviews off of handbook pages and skip, slide decks and dashboards and other things like that. And I see Emily put in that the specialty was added to the data analyst job family. So thanks for that.
So Eric, on the data analyst, is that going to be an embedded one on our data team, or are you going to hire that person directly into engineering?
I believe what Walter and I and Emily discussed was that we would do the embedded model, where it would be a member of the data team, but they would basically be auto-prioritized to work on engineering stuff, because I think we've got at least one full-time person's worth of a backlog.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. We did initially plan everything to be fully distributed, and then we've had some success with the embedded data analyst function with Eli. So it can go either way. Happy to do the embedded one. Said you okay with that? I think we'll just kind of call it an experiment in progress, and we'll see what model works best.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Walter highlighted, I think, what's going well with product management. So repeating that same model is great with me. And it's, stable counterparts. So it's something that we do natively to the company. It's not an unusual arrangement.
Okay, great.
Is there a progress update on embedded charts? I think Walter's working on the budget, as far as I know. I guess he's not here.
I have no idea about the embedded charts.
Okay. Well, any other comments or suggestions, questions? Oh, should we end early?
Nice work, Eric. Thank you.
Yeah, nice work. Well done.